Hey guys, in this video, let's test a LoRa that can help us edit images using the Krea 2 model. The LoRa is called Krea 2 Identity Edit. The download link for the LoRa is available in the description, so let's get started. Open the link for the Krea 2 Identity LoRa, and you will see a page like this. Here, there is a lot of information regarding the LoRa. To make the LoRa work, we need a custom node pack to be installed in ComfyUI. Later, we will see how to install that custom node pack. Scrolling down further, we can find a lot of other important information. Here, the LoRa developer recommends using the turbo model when it comes to image editing tasks like adding, recoloring, restyling, or restaging images. When you want to remove objects, use the raw model. However, my experiments show that the turbo model can also do object removal in some cases. Another thing is to use an output resolution of 2 megapixels or lower. There are also some limitations the developer listed here, so let's skip that and take a look at downloading the LoRa. Scroll up and click on Files and Versions. This is the LoRa we need to download, which is named Krea 2 Identity Edit v1.safetensors. Download the file and put it inside the LoRa's folder of ComfyUI. Now let's focus on installing the custom node pack we need for this LoRa. Here is the custom node pack, which is called ComfyUI Krea 2 Edit. Currently, it is not available in ComfyUI Manager, so we have to install it manually. I already made a video on installing custom nodes on ComfyUI. If you have not watched it, I recommend watching that video. Still, let's take a quick look at installing the custom node pack. We need to open the custom nodes folder of ComfyUI, then run this git clone command. Let's copy this command and run it. Let's open the custom node folder of ComfyUI. In here, let's open the terminal. Paste the command, and then press enter. In my case, the folder is already there. That's it. This custom node pack right now doesn't need any extra dependencies, so let's close the terminal. If you are currently running ComfyUI, just restart it after downloading the custom node pack. Now, let's switch to ComfyUI. As always, I already built a workflow, which you can download from the description. I assume you already know how to use the Krea 2 model, so let's focus only on the major differences in this workflow compared to a normal text-to-image workflow. In here, I am using the Turbo BF16 model. In the Load LoRa node, I have selected Krea 2 Identity Edit v1 with a strength of 1.0. Then in the Load Clip node, I will be using the text encoder Qwen 3 VL4B FP8 scaled. Now let's focus on the groups that have the image loaders. The first group is called Image 1, and then we have the Image 2 group. Here's the thing, right now you can use up to 2 reference images for editing. But I found that using 2 has a lot of issues, so it's better to stick with just 1 image input for editing. So in the Image 1 group, I've loaded an image for editing. Then we scale the image to 1 megapixel using a resize image or mask node. You can also use 2 megapixels if you want. After that, we use another resize image or mask node to make sure the resolution of the scaled image is a multiple of 8. From there, the image is sent to multiple nodes. First, the VAE encode node converts the image into a latent. That latent is then connected to the Krea 2 Edit source patch node, which comes from the custom node pack we just talked about. This node sits between the diffusion model node and the K-samper. Its job is to give the model access to the original image during editing. This allows the model to use the original image as a visual reference while generating the edit, helping keep the overall appearance consistent. If you're using a second reference image, its latent is connected to the source latent B input, allowing the model to use both reference images during editing. For prompting, we use the Krea 2 Edit Grounded Encode node from the same custom node pack as before. This node also has 2 image inputs. The first image goes into the image input, and if we're using a second reference image, it goes into image B. Simply put, this node doesn't just take our editing instructions, it also reads the input images and sends a semantic understanding of them to the Krea 2 model, so the model knows what is actually inside the image it is about to edit. One more setting worth mentioning here is grounding PX. This controls the resolution of the image that's sent to the vision model for semantic understanding. Lower values make the edit follow your instructions more strongly, while higher values preserve more of the original identity. So increase it for better facial identity preservation, or lower it if an edit is not good enough or isn't following your instructions. So yeah, the image isn't just fed in as a latent, it's also read by the Qwen 3VL4B model to generate that semantic understanding. And because right now I am using the turbo model, I don't need to type anything inside the negative prompt. But we will need it if we are using the raw model. Next, let's look at the K-samper. I will be using the same settings I used in my other Krea 2 video, but let's also set the seed change to randomize. The output resolution will be decided based on the scaled first image, and that's why we have this get image size node. Also, as an extra addition, I added this prompt enhance group. So if you want to enhance your prompt, just type it here and run the group. For prompt enhancing, the subgraph node uses Qwen 3.8b. If you want to change it, just enter the subgraph node and change the text encoder in the load clip node. Well, we don't need to enter the subgraph node every time to change the text encoder. Let's right-click and click on the Promote Widget clip name. Then exit the subgraph and rescale the subgraph. Let's put the group in unbypass mode. Now we are ready to change the text encoder right from here. Anyway, for this video, I won't be using it, so let's put the group in bypass mode. Now, let's start editing the image we loaded. I'm going to convert this image into anime art. For that, I wrote, convert the image to an anime art style while preserving the original composition, etc. Now let's run the workflow and see the result. So here is the result we got. Well, it's a nice result, but it does not completely match up with the original. In the original image, the woman is looking far away into the distance, and she is wearing white shoes. So what can we do to fix this? Well, we can try increasing the grounding px value. Let's try that. I am going to use 1024. We can also try another seed. Anyway, let's run the workflow again and see the result. Okay, here is the result. Well, this time the edit improved, but the woman's head is looking sideways rather than looking far into the distance. Still, it is better than the previous one. Now, let's try editing another image. I am going to choose this photo. This time, I am going to change her suit into a t-shirt. So in the prompt, let's type, replace the woman's suit with a yellow t-shirt. This time, I will also put the model sampling Auraflow node into bypass mode. Sometimes it provides better results. For now, let's keep it in bypass mode. Now, let's run the workflow. Okay, here is the result we got, and it's not good. So what can we do in this case? Well, we can try another seed. Because our seed changes automatically for every generation, let's just run the generation again and see if we get a better result. Here we go again. The result is not good. So what can we do in this case? Let's lower the ground px to see if that solves the problem. So I'm going to use 768, and let's hit the generation. Okay, here is the result, and this time it looks good. But as you can see here, there is a slight pose change too. I think lowering the grounding px solved the problem. Now, what if we want to edit this output image? To load the current output image, we can use another node called Load Image from Outputs. Here is the node. Now let's connect it to the resize image or mask node of the first image loader group. Let's add a baseball hat to her head. So, in the positive prompt, let's type, add a white baseball hat on the woman's head. Now, let's run the workflow. And here we go, now she is wearing a hat. The result is good, but there are still some problems, like her body size changed. Now, let's see if we can make her smile. So, in the Load Image from Outputs node, let's click on the refresh button. Then, in the positive prompt, let's type, make her smile naturally. Now, let's run the workflow. So, here is the result. She is smiling, and I think it's a good result, though there is a slight change in her body proportions. Now let's load another image and try replacing the background. So, I will choose this image. Let's change the studio setting to a beach. So, in the positive prompt, let's type, replace the background with a beach at sunset. Now let's hit the generation. And here is the result. I think it's a good result, although the woman's position has changed. So, I think it's time to wrap things up. In my opinion, I don't think this method of image editing can beat the Flux 2 Klein 9b model, nor the Qwen image edit models, but it's fun to test this method, and in the case of text rendering, it was not good in most tests I ran. Also, even the raw model was struggling with the text editing. So guys, that's it for this video. Test this LoRa method of image editing and let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.